Hello and welcome to this adventure in the Fabled Lands. We continue our journeys as Carrick Velast finds himself in the north, in the great howling steppes, and his journey has taken a bit of a strange turn. Well, as per our limited discussions in the chat below in last week's episode anyway, rest assured Carrick will stay offline. Online shows, which I love doing and which we will continue to do once a month, will take place with different characters. We've now got a wonderful adventure sheet having been created by Michael Helvenstein, and we can now load up multiple adventurers, so we can now easily change between them. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. So that is what our future is looking like, according to the great crystal ball. Now, we were in Yarimura, where we were deciding what Carrick's future was to be. He tried his hand at thievery or joining the thieves groups, but it just didn't work. He wasn't charismatic enough. So according to the comments below, we are going to go back to Castle Raven and try and restore some honor to what little name we currently have, although we are rank 3 now, which I think, if I just check the front here, Rank 3 means we are a guild member. We're one away from being a master. Nearly a gentleman and possibly a baron one day. Well, who knows? So, that is where we are heading now. Castle Raven is our objective. You are outside the walls of Yarimura, beside the great Tatsu Gate, which is carved into the likeness of a huge dragon's head. We could visit the villa of Hordeth. No, I don't think so. Explore the cliff wood, enter the city, head north, head west to the Great Steppes, or head south to the Gemstone Hills. Well, we basically want to get back to Castle Raven, so I think south to the Gemstone Hills is, or do we take a boat from the city and sail down? Oh, I think going through the Gemstone Hills is a little bit more interesting anyway. Well, we're not in a huge rush, 426. I mean, it is our story that's prophesied to be the great one. And if we're not going on great adventures, then who are we? You are strolling through an area of lush rolling hills, the Gemstone Hills. They are lush and green and covered in woods. It is strangely quiet. There are no birds singing in the trees, and you see no woodland animals. Well, given our scouting value, I'm not surprised at that. Make a magic roll. 9 plus our magic of 7. So that's 16. 16. Our difficulty was 12, so successful magic roll turned to 39. You come across a tall stone slab set into the side of a hill. A rune has been carved on it, which you reckon to be the mark of the Trow, creatures of the underworld. Didn't we have to find something with the Trow? Weren't they guarding the Key of Stars or the Parrot Fungus or something? Do we still have that? We don't have that fairy mead anymore, but we do have a Rabbit's Foot charm, which is Trow-like, isn't it? I think we should knock on the slab. 573. You rap upon it, and the stone slab slides upward, revealing a yawning black hole. 2 dark figures, blacker than night itself and wreathed in shadow, jump out. All you can make out are their red glowing eyes and huge silvery grins like crescent moons that split their faces, their shadowy faces in half. You realize they are Trow, delvers in the dark, the fairy goblin folk of the underworld. "Oh, a human! What fun!" says one in a deep voice. "If you have some fairy mead, turn there. If not, turn there." Oh, no fairy mead. I think we lost it all, didn't we? At one point, we had 2 pieces of fairy mead. Nope, it's if not, turn to 481. And I see the construction has just started outside, if you're hearing that strange chainsaw in the background. Make a sanctity roll. Oh. Our good one. 9 plus sanctity of 4 is 13. The difficulty we had to beat was 12. So we're good on that one. 3, 3, 1. 3, 3, 1. Wrong page. That's why I was confused for a moment. The Trow reach for you with coal-black hands, intent on seizing you and dragging you down into the underworld. But they cannot abide piety and godliness. You are too saintly for their needs, and they fall back cursing. This one smells like temple incense, growls one. They disappear into the hole as fast as they came, and the stone slab slams firmly shut with a resounding crash. Where will you go from here? North to Yaramura, west into the plains, or south? Well, we'll go south, 145. Why not? If you have the code word defend or deliver, neither, read on. You are in between the Gemstone Hills and the citadel of Velis Corin. A vast army has made camp near here, some miles north of the citadel. It is alive with activity. Caravans of supplies and camp followers are everywhere. You learn that it is the army of the Northern Alliance, led by General Beladai. Beladai was the commander-in-chief of King Corin of Sakara's army before Grieve Marlock usurped his throne. Now, the new king in exile has made an alliance with the Horde of the Thousand Winds, the Trow, and the Mannequin people of Sky Mountain. Together, they hope to take the citadel and put the king back on the throne. They are readying themselves to march south and lay siege to the citadel. But the citadel is supposed to be invincible. Visit the camp, go south to the citadel, north to the Gemstone Hills, west to the plains, northwest to the plains, or into the mountains west of the citadel. We need to visit this camp 660. There's too much going on in here, isn't there? 660. I do hope this wonderful person outside stops. The camp is huge. Nomad warriors, winged mannequin people, soldiers of the King of Sakara, and, at night only, many Trow rub shoulders here. It is an easy matter to get into the camp. You are one of many attracted to the economic opportunity an army represents. At the center of the camp is a wooden stockade where General Beladai and the other leaders of the army have their tents. This is well guarded. There are plenty of armorers and weaponsmiths here, buying and selling for the army. Well, we can sell some stuff. I'm going to sell this blue jewel for 200 shards. Because I think it's useful to do that. I think I'm going to sell this green gem as well for 100 shards, because we seem to be picking up gems quite regularly. So we'll do that. The rest I think we want to keep. Pretty much that's it. They've got nothing really interesting to buy. After making any purchases or sales, if you have the code word dread, turn there. Nope. If not, but you have the code word assault. Excuse me. Salt, no, we don't have assault. Otherwise, there is nothing else to do but leave the camp. Turn to 145. The Tales of the Great Bard Carrick. He wandered around a little bit, didn't meet anybody of interest, wasn't allowed to go anywhere, and so wandered back again. We are now going to go to the mountains west of the citadel, north, east, south, west. Oh, that could be towards Sky Mountain. Didn't we release a mannequin? Let's do that. Into the mountains west of the citadel, 558. I know we're a little bit rambling, but we don't really have a deadline. You are at the base of the mountains of the Spine of Harkoon, west of the Pass of Eagles. The mountains rise up before you, an impassable barrier. You find a small cave in a cleft of rock. Enter the cave or leave? Well, we're going to enter the cave, 35. If you have the code word deep or dim, if not, read on. You come to a network of underground tunnels that run under the mountains. It is pitch dark, and you must have a lantern or candle to proceed. Nope, none of those. No light source, 558. To get a light source, I suppose, when we go spelunking, 558. 145. Okie dokes, let's go to Corin Vallis, 308. The citadel of Vallis Corin, or the Shield of the North, as it is sometimes called, completely occupies the Pass of Eagles. The pass is the only way through the mountains of the spine of Harkoon. From this side, a massive wall stretches from one side of the pass to the other. The main entrance, in the middle of the wall, is a pair of huge steel doors, known as the Great Gate. Many towers rise up behind the wall, topped with flags and pennants fluttering in the wind. The citadel, gleaming white in the sun, looks completely invulnerable to a frontal assault from this side. A patrol of knights of the Northern Shield rides out towards you. Leave and head north to the plains, or wait for the guard patrol. We'll wait for the patrol, 132. They might be interested in a story, a tale. Which of these code words do you have? Defend, deliver, assist, or dread? Or none of them. 421. If you have the title Protector of Saqqara or an Officer's Pass, the knights greet you civilly and escort you into the citadel. If not, they surround you and demand to know what you are doing here. Well, gentlemen, you see, it's a misunderstanding, I assure you. 7 plus 7 is 14. The charisma difficulty was 15. We failed. Oh, dear. 232, 232. Please don't let this be the turnaround. Please don't let this be. We're just innocent. We're innocent. You tell them you are out scouting for the Saqqaran army, but they ask you detailed questions you are unable to answer. You are arrested and taken into the citadel for interrogation. Do we have the code word drizzle or assault? Nope. The Saqqarans are suspicious, and they torture you during interrogation. Lose 1d6 stamina. 2 stamina. If you're still alive, you have nothing to tell them, so evidently they release you. Well, I never. The nerves. I just am an innocent troubadour, and they do that to me. I find it absolutely, it's unacceptable. That's what it is. So we can't get through Corin Vallis because we just can't. So we're going to have to go around or across. I think we're going to go around. We're going to go via Nerech Bay or Disaster Bay. I suppose we can do that, can't we? That would be going east, which we actually can't do. We can only go west or northwest. Well, then it's west into the plains. We'll find some hospitable people, 668. People who actually know how to treat a troubadour as a troubadour should be treated, as far as I'm concerned, 668. And that's given lots of nice hot cakes to consume. You are travelling across the plains. To the south lie the mountains of the spine of Harkoon, with white-peaked Sky Mountain towering above the rest. Night falls, and you make camp. The plains are flat and desolate, and you need to hunt for food. Make a scouting roll. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty! Wow, that's a success. If you succeed, you find a grouse to eat. If you fail, you go hungry and must lose a stamina point. If you still live, the new day dawns. Sky Mountain casts its morning shadow over you. Climb up Sky Mountain. Is the sky blue? Ha! 175. We've got climbing gear. We're okay. Sky Mountain rears up before you. Tiny black specks glide about the peak. It is said the tiny winged mannequin people make their home there. You climb up the rocky flanks of the mountain. Make a scouting roll at that difficulty. Add 2 if you have climbing gear. So 9 plus the climbing gear of 2. That puts us already on 11. So we're golden. We're absolutely fantastic. Where are we now? Make a scouting roll. Okay. Successful scouting roll, 682. 682. That's a good one. 682. You manage to reach a ledge halfway up the mountain where you pause to rest. Suddenly, you are struck by a shower of pebbles. A dozen winged creatures are hovering in the air above you, pelting you with small rocks. They are little purple-furred monkeys with leathery bat-like wings. Mannequin people. They wear simple strips of leather and wield small javelins. "Get away, you big ox!" shrills one of them. If you have the code word altruist, turn there. Otherwise, turn there. Altruist. Yes, we have altruist. 368. Everybody's attacking. Just everybody. 368. "Wait!" one of them shrieks. It flies down and looks you in the face. Then it says, "I know you!" It is Picolic, the winged warrior. You bought him in the slave market at Karanbaru, and then set him free. The others became friendly, and fly you up to their lair, a maze of caves running through the topmost peak, accessible only by air. The journey is quite exhilarating, though it takes 7 or 8 mannequin people to carry you up. Picolic takes you to their leader. You are shown into a richly adorned cave, deep in the rock. 428. If there is a tick in the box, turn there. If not, put a tick there now and read on. Okay, so we are in here for Howling Plains of Darkness. And if there is a tick in the box... 428. Great. A scholarly-looking gentleman comes out of the back. "So, you're the one Picolic told me about," he says in a thin, reedy voice. He tells you his name is Argon, the alchemist. He takes you to his sanctum, a laboratory full of vats and alembics. Several contain half-formed mannequin. "They are my creations, you see," says Argon. "I grow them all here, in the life vat. I think of them as my children, and because you helped one of my people, I will help you." Argon will create a duplicate clone of your body in one of his vats. If you are slain, your spirit will leave your body and fly to your clone, and you will live again. Well, there we go. Write Sky Mountain, the Plains of the Howling Darkness, 244 in the resurrection box on your adventure sheet. If you are later killed, turn here in this book. You can only have one resurrection arranged at any one time, so if you already had a resurrection deal for a temple, the temple one is cancelled. You do not get a refund. Well, isn't that typical? That temple, that resurrection cost us 600 shards, if you recall. Now we're getting it for free because we climbed up a bloody mountain in the middle of nowhere. Oh, such is the life of Carrick, isn't it? Oh, all right. Well, do we want to come back here or do we want to go there? Do we want to clone or do we want to get resurrected by God? Oh... I think we'll stick with the God one. It's safer and it's in a more hospitable area and we've got a townhouse where we resurrect, I think. Well, let's leave these people. Great. 668. 668. You are travelling across the plains. To the south lie the mountains of the spine of a Harkoon, with white-peaked Sky Mountain towering over the rest. Do we want to go west, east, north, or climb Sky Mountain? Well, we want to go west. 266. You are travelling across the southern steppes. To the south, the spine of Harkoon marches across the sky. To the north, endless grasslands stretch away. You come to a desolate ruin. Its cyclopean outer walls, crumbling now, tell of a once great city. Interesting. Shall we explore the ruins? I think we should. It makes sense. Explore the ruins of the city. 54. Its walls, though crumbling, are still so massive and sheer that they are unclimbable. The gates, however, hang from their hinges, their rotting timbers groaning in the wind. Runes, in a language of the long-lost Shadar Empire, are carved above the gate. As you step past them, a gigantic head materializes in the air before you. It looks like a jackal with burning eyes of fire. If you have a banner of the Shadar, turn there. If not, turn there. I don't think we have a banner of the Shadar. Oh, no, not at all. 695. 695. Where are we? No! Oh, I cheated. Oh, what was the last page number? Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Wait, let me find that picture. Sorry about that. I turned to the wrong place. See, that's what happens. Here we go. You're traveling across the steppes, enter the city ruins, 54. We do not, if not, turn to 539. 539. You may not pass, booms the jackal head. It breathes and you are blown like a leaf in the wind for hundreds of yards. Lose 1 to 6 stamina points. We have been refused entry into the citadel of Velis Corin. We have been thrown, we have had rocks and pebbles thrown at us, and now we have just had ourselves blown about by a giant spectral shadow. I do not like the Great Steps at all. And I want to get out of here right now. I want to go home. That's what Carrick wants to do. Well, we just have to keep... How do we get across this mountain range? I don't know. Go south into the mountains. Let's try that. I just want to get out of this miserable, flat, windy, inhospitable place. You find a goat track leading up through the mountains. South into the mountains. Cities of Glory, 351. Well, maybe this is our chance to get out of here. 351. You are traversing the spine of Harkoon mountain range. Distantly against the sky, you can see the massive bulk of Sky Mountain. The forked, snow-clad peak resembles a crone's broken tooth. According to legend, the moon once caught on the peak, and the mannequin people had to fly up to break it loose. No human has ever scaled Sky Mountain as far as you know. Well, as a matter of fact, I happen to know that I know what's at the top. So we had to roll 2 dice. Roll 2 dice. And on a 7, nothing of note, 640. If you have the code word buzz, we don't have the code word buzz. If not, 712. East of here, the mountains become a sheer column of rock, reaching up to the edge of heaven. Westward stretches the spine of Harkoon, said to be the vestiges of a fallen god of ancient times. Well, we're now in this area. Where are we? There. So there's Sky Mountain, which we don't really care about anymore. So we could go west or we could go south. Into the Forsaken Forest again. South. 372. 372. 372. This is the wild, windswept heathland where shepherds eke out a meagre living. Head towards the haunted hills. Head towards the Forest of the Forsaken. Follow the Rainbow River south. Go east towards the Grim River. Go north towards the mountains, or strike out westwards. So now we know roughly where we are. We could get to Momorek. I think that's the name of the city that we could possibly go and visit. I've never been there, as a matter of fact. That's Momorek. And then we can just come straight down to the Castle of Ravern. Makes sense to me. I think that's what we're going to do. Once I remember where the hell we are. Why am I losing my place so much today? Right, so we are going to go west. Strike out westwards. 2, 3, 6. This is a bleak country in the shadow of the northern foothills. Beyond rise the jagged snow-peaked mountains known as the Spine of Harkoon. Head for the town of Mamorek, 167. That's where we're going. Ta-da! Momorek is a depot town where the prospectors who mine the foothills come to buy supplies. Grey stone dwellings huddle under roofs made of slate tiles. Visit the market. Well, why not? 493. You will not find much of interest in the stores of Mamorek. Pickaxes, handles, tents, buckets, sieves. All you need for mining and prospecting, friend, declares the store owner jovially. Oh, there's a lantern here. Or a candle. A candle is much cheaper than a lantern. A candle only costs 5 shards. A lantern costs 100. I think we're going to get a candle. Candle. At least then we've got a bit of light. That's 5 shards. Other than that, there's not much else to do here. Turn to 190. The cost of passage on a boat heading downriver is 5 shards. A barge here conveys passengers over to the west bank of the Reese at a cost of a shard. Alternatively, you can swim across by making a scouting roll. The current is strong and the water icy cold. Your other option is to set out across the open countryside. There are no roads to speak of in this wild, unforgiving landscape. Sail downriver. Well, that's where we want to go, so I think that's where we want to go. 144. You sail downriver until you reach Delpton. You can disembark here or remain on board as the boat heads further down. Delpton. Well, we don't want to go all the way as far as Ringhorn. We do want to get to Castle Raven. So I think we're going to stay. We're going to continue downriver. 121. The strong current of the Reese River carries you swiftly south. Soon you see the battlements of Castle Raven in the distance. You can disembark at this point or journey on to the coast. Visit Castle Raven. 25. The white turrets of Castle Raven rise above the treetops. From the topmost tower flutters the black lion banner of the Raven clan. This is the stronghold of Vanna, Baroness of Raven. Enter the castle. 95. Let's try now to undo that which has been done, not intentionally, but if you are 4th rank or higher, go there. If not, go there. 364. Not yet. Not yet. 364. We'll get there. Sentries with huge black halberds block your way across the heavy drawbridge. To convince them to let you enter, you must make a successful charisma check. Now look, fellows, how many times have we had this conversation, and how many times have you let me through? Yes, you remember me now. Carrick, that's right, let me in. Castle Ravane is virtually a city in its own right. The outer courtyard is filled with stables, grain stores, pens for livestock, carpentry yards, and a smithy. Nearby, some knights are keeping fighting fit by charging with lances at a straw-filled dummy. Beyond, another line of defences encloses the inner keep. Visit the shrine to the war god Turnai, visit the armoury, practice swordplay, rob the treasury, enter the inner keep. Well, I don't really remember what we did before. Entering the inner keep is where we found that wizard, I think. That's where we wanted to do in the first place. 112. The doorway into the castle keep is guarded by elite knights in gleaming, gem-studded armour. They watch you narrowly as you approach, then slowly cross their halberds to bar your path. "What is your business here?" asks one. "I wish to speak to the wizard." "What is your favourite colour?" says another. 27 miles before you ask the next question. If not, turn to 273. 273. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, 273, yes. The guards are not convinced you are important enough to be admitted to the keep. "Has the Baroness summoned you?" they demand to know. "She is very busy." Well, we've got to do another charisma check. We need to roll above 3 to succeed, which we do. 296. "I've seen her before. I killed one of your leaders. He was a thief." 342. They let you in. 342. The inner keep of the castle is a mighty fortress with walls several meters thick. Narrow windows admit golden shafts of sunlight into the gloomy hallway. Visit the chamber if you're a paladin. No. Visit the chapel. No. Seek out the wizard Estragon or request an audience with the Baroness. Well, let's go to Estragon first. 21. And see if he will give us a quest. You find Estragon in his laboratory, deep under the bedrock on which the castle rests. Crude stone steps wind down into a glimmering darkness filled with strange lights and fumes. Estragon strides forward, holding an alembic, which he is heating with incendiary spells. The glow of the chemicals throws his seamed old face into sharp relief against the black drop of darkness. Let's run an errand for him. 542. "I've been waiting for you," Estragon says. "There is a task you can perform, and in return, I'll teach you a little sorcery." If the first box below is not ticked, put a tick in it, and then turn to 490. 490, so that would be book number 2. 490. Oh, we do have a tick in it. Okay. I don't remember what that was. We'll have to ask him again. All right. If otherwise, continue down until you reach the first empty box, tick it, and then turn to the given number. All right. 565 is our next number. So that is 2 City of Gold. 565. I feel like there was something that we forgot to write down, and by we I mean I. 565. "I can do nothing until I acquire a mermaid's coral red tresses," Aragon tells you. "I'll teach you some more of my magic when you bring me what I need." Where will I find a mermaid, you ask? He gives you a sharp look. Not in the northern hills, that's for sure. 382. 342. Mermaid's tresses. 342. Mermaid's tresses. Estragon. Mermaid tresses. Guess we'll have to go and look for some mermaid's tresses then. Request an audience with the Baroness. 44. Sir Dreebamus, the seneschal, takes you into the Baroness's court. She sits in regal splendour on the gilded seat of House Raven. A gonfalon showing the black lion crest hangs on the wall behind her. Although young and slender, she has the fierce, unflinching gaze of one who is born to rule. "Why have you come?" she asks. Undertake a quest, ask for a boon, assassinate the Baroness. I don't think we want to assassinate her. That won't help us clear our name. Undertake a quest. 733. I, the great, well-known Carrick Valast, have arrived to undertake a quest for you, my great Baroness. You wish to serve this noble household, replies Baroness Vanna. In what capacity? Spying on her foes, a diplomatic mission, slaying a monster, making a map, denouncing a traitor, or paying a cash tribute. It doesn't seem to me like a quest is just handing over gobs of cash. Diplomatic mission or slaying a monster? Or spying on her foes? We could do spying. Could we do spying? Slaying a monster, I think, is better. 391. We're good at slaying things. 391. If the box above is empty, put a tick in it now and turn to 590. Put a tick in it now. 390. No, we don't have that. Okay. 2 Cities of Gold and Glory. 391. If the box above is empty, put a tick in it now and turn to 590. Many of the towns of the north pay tribute to this noble house in return for protection, Varna tells you. But now a dragon has arisen which flies forth by night, disgorging fire upon the peasants' barns and carrying off their cattle. Not without qualms, you reply, "Leave this to me, my lady. Carrick is on the case. I shall bring you the dragon's head, or you can take my own instead." You see? I'm quite funny. I was joking about taking my head if I can't get to the dragon. After all, I mean, it's flying. I don't fly. There is applause from the assembled knights and couriers as you withdraw. Yeah, yes. I really was joking. I really was joking about that. 342. Okay. We're hunting dragons. Dragon in the north. I bet you it's in the Ravern. Dragon head. Oops. Head in the north. Right. So, Marmorick didn't mention anything about that. And they don't have any cattle anyway. Delpton is probably our best bet. So we're going north again. Once again, we go north. Leave the keep. 315. We're done here. We are done. We're going to go and save peasants. That's what we are going to do. 118. Saving peasants. That'll be a great story. Well, not such a great story, but eventually it'll be a great story. Follow the riverbank north, 75. Roll 2d6. 7. The region between Delpton and Castle Ravane is a patchwork of tranquil fields and meadows. It seems that nothing intrudes on the slow, contented pace of daily life hereabouts. Nothing happened, 97, because it's slow and contented, isn't it? Travelling in the fertile valley of the Rhys River. Go north to Delpton, 6. The village of Delpton flourishes by the shipping of grain downriver to Ringhorn. Visit the market, 393. Always useful to just see what's going on. If they've got like anti-dragon potions or something, that could be useful. Rope, lantern, compass, no. When your business is finished here, turn to 6. Stop at the inn, because we're actually quite wounded, 418. The innkeeper charges a shard a day, and this entitles you to a mat beside the common room fire and 2 hot meals. Each day you spend here, you can recover 1 stamina point if injured, up to the limit of your normal stamina points. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Lovely. 4, 4, 3. Cities of Gold and Glory, 443. If the box is empty, put a tick on it and turn there. If it is already ticked, turn to 6. It's already ticked. Okay, leave Delpton, 29. To travel on from here by river, you must pay a fare of 5 shards. Otherwise, you can cross the bridge and set out in the direction of the Singing Forest, or travel into the hinterlands. Well, we want to go upriver. We think that that's where the dragon is. North, she said. So let's go upriver, 350. The boat wends its way sluggishly upriver against the current. The rich fields gradually give way to grazing land and rugged heath. One evening at dusk, you see a pallid green light flickering far off in the east across the desolate countryside. The sailors... Obviously we purchased, I read the wrong entry. The sailors tell you the light shines from the top of the Tower of Despair. A haunted place where ogre king once dwelt, the captain adds in a hushed voice. The next day you arrive at Marmarek. This is as far as the boat is going. If you want to return south with them, you must pay another 5 shards. Well, we're going to stop at Marmarek, 167. So, we know that the dragon is not between Marmarek and the Spine of Harkoon because we have been there. So that's fine. We're going to leave Marmarek, 190. And we are going to travel east overland, 258. Looking for a dragon. Wind whistles across the wide expanse of heathland dotted with just a few scattered hamlets. To the north, half hidden in the murk of low clouds, looms the snow-peaked mountain range known as the Spine of Harkoon. Head east towards the Haunted Hills, head north to the mountains, travel west or travel south. Well, I think we should go and have a look at these Haunted Hills. Let's see what's going on in there, 305. Someone's got to have seen this dragon, somewhere. The Haunted Hills are virtually uninhabited, except for will-o'-the-wisps, monsters, and a few mad outcasts. Roll 2 dice to see what you encounter. I've got a bad feeling about this. Outlaws. 419. You are ambushed by a band of outlaws in wolf-pelt jerkins. They jump up from behind a ridge. You see at a glance that they far outnumber you, but they make no move to attack. Their leader signals for his men to lower their crossbows before scrambling down from the ridge to speak with you. "No offence," he says with a grin, "but one lone wanderer isn't worth the trouble of robbing." If only... You're quite right. Nothing to steal here. Maybe he'd think differently if he could see inside your money pouch. Or perhaps they are really put off because you look too tough to handle without casualties. See if you can impress them by making a thievery roll and a charisma roll, both at difficulty 13. Okay, let's go thievery first. That's 8 plus 5 is 13, so that's a fail. And can I re-roll thievery? Yes, I can. I'm going to re-roll that thievery and get exactly the same number. Okay. And then a charisma check. That's 7, 10 is 12. So both of them failed. 5, 4, 4. You try to convince the outlaws you are as ruthless and experienced as any of them. Unfortunately, it comes out sounding hollow. Your miserable attempt at roguish nonchalance falls flat. Your charm comes across like nervous prattling. The accounts of your crimes seem obviously to be lies. One fellow with a scar running right across the bridge of his nose gives you a long, hard stare and says, "What's got you jittery, pal? Couldn't be us, could it, mates? Sweet as lambs we are." He rocks with laughter, but his eyes aren't laughing. Suddenly they grab you, strip you of everything you possess, and pelt you with clumps of turf until you are driven away. Cross all possessions and money off your adventure sheet, then turn to 172. You are probably glad to be heading out of the haunted hills. Many a traveller before you has left his bones mouldering here. I know I certainly would like to leave my bones mouldering there. Oh, woe! Oh, horrid, horrid day! Lost like that. Both rolls failed. 6, 9, 4. We've lost everything. Ah, all that gone. Look at that. That's a fortune in gold gone. Oh, it breaks my heart, Carrick, you poor, poor, poor fool. Oh, now we're nobody again. We have 500 shards to our name and some useless trinkets back in Yellowport, of all places. Oh, it would have been better for them to have murdered us. At least we would have resurrected somewhere useful. Now we're stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. How woe is us! Oh, woe! Oh, bleakness! Oh, horror! I curse the gold fields! I curse the endless plains! Oh, 328, we're going south, we're going back home. We should never have left this place. The endless plains are the breadbasket of Golnir. Well, may it be stale bread. A vast rolling expanse of fields that gleam in summer like quilts of gold, stolen from poor innocent troubadours, I bet. Pretty whitewashed villages nestle beside lazy streams, and I bet you those thieves live in those pretty white little villages, paid for with my equipment. The farms are filled with plump livestock. Look at that livestock, all plump. How dare it be plump and happy? Danger is unknown to the inhabitants of this idyllic landscape. That's because everyone like me is naked wandering around here because we haven't got anything to be dangerous with. Oh. When you are ready to head on towards fresh pastures, turn to 77. Oh. I tell you, sometimes I wonder. You stand on the windswept endless plains and wonder where you should seek your next adventure. Head due north, head northeast to the haunted hills, south to search for the Tower of Despair, visit the town of Wheatfields, head towards the Reese River, go eastwards or go south? We're going south. We haven't got any money. We've got nothing. The farmers in these parts are ruddy-cheeked and jolly, always ready with a foaming stoop of ale. If you took up every offer of hospitality, you would never reach your destination. Roll 2 dice. 8. A country fair. 7, 6, 5. 7, 6, 5. You cannot resist the temptation to stop off at the fair. 2 whole fields are covered with gaudily coloured tents and stalls where you can watch juggling, acrobatics, dancing bears and singing birds. Roll 2d6. 11. Win a prize. 7, 6, 9. You line up at a coconut shy, only instead of coconuts, the cups contain human heads. When you point out to the stallholder this is a rather grisly joke, he can only shrug. I'm a worshipper of the golden eagle, and dead things don't revolt me in the least. Anyhow, look at that queue. There are plenty of people willing to throw a few balls, if you're not. You throw 3 balls and manage to win a pirate captain's head. Note it on your adventure sheet and turn to 199. Great. So now I am naked, wandering around with a pirate captain's head. I wonder if Estragon needs a pirate captain's head. He needs everything else, doesn't he? 199. Right. Travel to Goldfall. We're trying to go south as fast as we can. Goldfall might work. 81. Goldfall is a ramshackle town. The buildings are in poor repair, and the livestock wanders around unattended in the fields. The reason is that most people who live here are just transients. They come from far and wide because of the stories that chunks of gold shower from the sky on certain nights. You pass a beggar squatting beside the town square and ask if he has found any gold. "Nope," he says, "but I heard a bloke that got rich from finding 3 nuggets, each as big as your fist. Got any spare change?" Got a pirate captain's head if you like. Visit the Temple of 3 Fortunes. Search for gold. 719. Well, it can't do us any harm, can it? You go out into the meadows as soon as the sun rises. Early as you are, the place is already teeming with other prospectors, and you are forced to make do with a patch of hard soil that you sift through until late afternoon. Roll 2 dice. 8. 420. You have almost given up hope when you dig out a speck of gold worth 2 shards. "What confounded luck," says a nearby prospector. "That means there's a good chance of a large nugget buried here somewhere." You want to go on digging, but the daylight is going. "I'll help you dig first thing tomorrow if you like," says the prospector as you walk back to town. Well, let's try again tomorrow, 470. I've got nothing to lose, quite literally. You go out the next day, and the next. Sometimes you find a tiny bit of gold. More often you come back to town empty-handed, and each day you swear that unless you strike it rich on the morrow, you are going to give up looking. But it is too late. You have gold fever. You spend all your money on gadgets that are supposed to help with prospecting. Copper sieves, dowsing rods, gold-sensitive ferrets, and so on. After 6 weeks, you have nothing to show for it. You are flat broke, and the gadgets you brought are worse than useless. Sourly you pack up and leave town, vowing to never return. Turn to page 104. And that is where we're going to come to an end. What a change in poor Carrick's favour. Lost everything. Got gold fever. Stuck in the village. I tell you, this series of books is such a refreshing challenge. You never know where you're going to end up next. Well, maybe we'll find out next week. Well, not maybe. We most certainly will find out next week as the adventures continue, as we journey further and further into the Fabled Lands.